Hello, welcome back to Create with Cress. For this challenge, I'd like you to create your very own robot. Firstly, I'd like to introduce you to the little robot character in Which Way to Anywhere, my new book series. This is Puck. He's a very, very cute little robot, about the size of a very small dog, maybe a Chihuahua or something. And he was inspired by real robots that people really do make in real life. A little bit larger he is than these kinds of robots, because some of these robots are tiny. They're the size of insects. I'll just show you, because they are incredible. And they can design robots to do anything nowadays. They can change their skeletons, apparently, these little robots that look like insects. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, look. These are the real life little robots that people are making. And look at this one. It says, rather than settling with just one skeleton, this tiny bot can alter its bones to change the way it walks to suit different terrain. Its skeleton is rigid at first, but tiny joints within it become flexible when a current passes through them. And I thought that was extraordinary. So lots of robots appear in Which Way to Anywhere, but Puck is my favourite. So I gave him, he's got lots of different little attachments that poke out of here. So a bit like that, they can go on different terrains. So he's got these little legs that can come out, but he can also transform. And things like this is a torch that's coming out at this point, and he's got, at the moment, here he's got a little helicopter. There he's being inspired by the insects, but sometimes he turns into a sort of balloon form, and his neck can go right up so he can see round corners. But he's got all sorts of little different attachments. But poor old Puck in the story has quite a difficult time. So he's sort of bashed up, and you can see his screen. I thought it would be really cool if the little robot could have a screen so you could watch all your different favourite television programmes. But that would be very handy, wouldn't it? It'd be good if it had a kind of homework mode or something, so you could answer all your questions. But you can see his screen is a bit bashed up, because in the story he gets into lots of different adventures in different worlds. He lives an exciting life, poor little Puck. And Puck he belongs actually to some of the children's father who's gone missing. So he's come back from a different world across the universe. And you can see he's a bit bashed up. But for this challenge, I want you to create your very own robot. I'll just show you how I draw Puck first, because you might find that inspiring. I'm going to draw Puck for you. He's this really cute little malfunctioning robot, and so I'm starting with his head, and this is his head. So he's got this top little bit here, out of which, because he can fly, he has like this helicopter attachment here. So this goes up like that. He's got like sort of helicopter type wings like that, which is how he flies. Some of the little robots are like balloons. They can go like balloons, but he's got helicopter wings, and then you make these little lines like that to show him flying. And then you've got to go his expression, his eyes here. Now, I always think you can tell a story by the expression on somebody's faces, and he's quite a sort of anxious to please little robot. He's always trying to please. So I try and get his expression like that. And then he's got these are the springs like coming out of his body. It can go really tall so that he can go round corners and things like that. But at the moment, I'm just drawing him with his head quite close to his body. And this is his body. I would so like to own a little robot like that. And when you're creating your robots or your imaginary creatures or something, it's always good to think what kind of robot would you like? Would you like a really cool, exciting robot that you could go on the back of, or would you like a robot like this one who's very cute and sweet, who has actually he's got a screen here. Who's got a screen so you can watch all your favourite television programs or anything on that. And this is where his voice comes out of. He doesn't have that's his voice box just here. That's where his voice comes out of. And then he's got all these little buttons on him like that. And he has these little places here where different attachments can come out of. Okay, so like one of them, he might have something jutting out that is it's generally something that's not very useful. Like in difficult moments when you're really hoping that he's going to come out with some sort of laser or something like that, he comes out with something like an egg whisk. Okay, this is an egg whisk coming out of one of his attachments. And then he might have a kind of little fork coming out of another one, because as I say, he means really well, but all of his really cool attachments don't seem to come out at the right moment. And then on the bottom, he might have wheels or something like that. Yeah. Okay, those are his wheels coming out like this. Yeah. There he is. Okay. Yeah, and you can think of all sorts of really cool attachments that he could have, like tin openers, or if you're in a scary situation, you might want him to have a telescope or something. Or, okay, there we go. He's very, very cute. You can think of all sorts of different, hang on, I might do a telescope one. This would be a useful one, like this, for looking up at the night sky and seeing what might be up there. Okay, there he is, Puck. So now I want you to create your very own robot. It could take you anywhere, this robot. Just use your imagination. It could have wings, it could be an underground robot. There are all sorts of different robots in Which Way to Anywhere. So there are some really scary ones. There's a really scary robot assassin. But then there are other ones who, these like the Diamond Mine robots here. Yeah. Who again look like a bit like giant beetles, and they're silver because they reflect all the light so that they can operate in desert conditions, like silver ants. You could have a robot that dispensed sweets. You could have a robot, you could have an ice robot. You could have a robot that could walk through fire. You could have any different kind of robot. Use your imagination. Let your imagination run wild. I want to see the most imaginative robot. You know, you could have a robot that was a medicine robot that healed things. Whatever you want to make. And if you send in your entries to the competition, get your adult to send in your robot to share it on Twitter, Instagram or Facebook with the hashtag #CreateWithCress. There we go. And the winner will get a very special picture of Puck drawn by me. There we go. That's for the winner. Can you see? Yeah, the winner right there will get that picture, and I've left a space right there for your name of the winner. I'm really looking forward to seeing all your incredibly imaginative inventions, because I know you're so creative. Share all your entries by the 30th of September. And don't worry if you don't win, by the way. I'm saying this even before. It's all about, these kind of competitions are all about your creativity and getting you excited about, because children are the most creative people in the world. And I want to get you excited and see the kind of amazing things that you're going to come up with. But don't worry if you don't win. I used to enter lots of competitions when I was a kid and I never won, or very rarely won anyway. It's all about the taking part. Anyway, share your entries by 30th September. Don't forget the hashtag #CreateWithCress. Happy creating.